to see Angel Reese's signature shoe with Reebok, and Angel's having a pretty decent month because that announcement was also paired with the fact that she will be the cover star for the WNBA version of 2K26. And Angel's signature shoe marks a pretty big shift in the market for women's sports, and especially the WNBA, because when Angel's shoe debuts, we will actually have 4 different WNBA players with signature shoes active in the league right now, and those 4 shoes will be from 3 different shoe brands. The current active WNBA players with signature shoe deals are Breanna Stewart, who has a shoe with Puma, Sabrina Ionescu, who is her teammate on the New York Liberty, and who has a shoe deal with Nike. And this year, we saw the A1 debuted with A'ja Wilson and Nike. Angel Reese marks the 14th WNBA player to release a signature shoe since the dawn of the league. The very first WNBA player to receive a signature shoe was actually Cheryl Swoops back in the 90s. And while we saw a number of legends like Lisa Leslie, Dawn Staley, and other players have signature shoes from the 90s on, we actually saw a huge drought for this. And this marks a really important shift here, because from 1995 to 2011, there were only 9 players that received signature shoe deals. But from 2022 to 2025, we've seen 5 players receive those deals. What I think is important to recognize is the idea that the WNBA and women's sports as a whole are becoming more a part of our mainstream culture. While people have always been watching women's sports, we've only recently seen this huge mainstream boom where everyone is talking about them. Watching the way that brands are moving in and trying to pay attention to new stars is a really interesting thing to track, because once you see that happening on this scale, it's clear that brands believe that there is a market for it, and that market right now is undersaturated. A'ja Wilson can barely keep her shoes on the shelf every time she does a drop, and seeing brands like Puma and Reebok get back into the WNBA is a move that shows that there's a market that people are trying to get in on the ground floor of. And I think basketball shoes are such a part of the culture in a fashion way outside of just on-court action. This isn't just about the fact that girls will be able to buy signature shoes from WNBA players when they want to play basketball, which is a really big deal. It's also about street style. It's about the shoes that you wear when you go places, and about the fact that now you have choices that have women's names on them. And I think, honestly, this is a sign that we're going to see more shoe brands getting into the WNBA. Personally, I'd love to see an Under Armour signature shoe, especially given the fact that they were able to capitalize on working with Steph Curry. I think they could do the same thing here. And you could also see brands that are no longer super associated with basketball find a way back in. Fila, for example, used to have a WNBA player shoe. This is a great time for them to get back in. And I'm kind of curious to see if this turns into a little bit of a new brand war. Which shoe brand can have the most iconic WNBA shoe, and how do they build these rosters? And most importantly, as they build those rosters, competition gets bigger, and the price point for these shoe deals starts to go up. The question really will be, is it more than just the legacy brand of Nike getting in, having A'ja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, eventually Caitlin Clark, and having their corner on the market there? Or can other brands like Reebok and Puma challenge the market share when it comes to the WNBA? And Reebok is trying to do that with Angel Reese. So I'm curious for you, are you planning to grab these? And which WNBA player that doesn't have a signature shoe deal yet are you waiting to see?